Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Irina and I'm a master student in German university. And actually I'm here already 11 months, so almost a year for me. And today I want to share my experience about how to find a program and what can be a criteria and maybe the first steps that you need to think about when you're applying to the German university. Because I received some comments about I don't know what to do and how to apply and what can be the first steps. I guess today we can talk about this theme. And if I decided again to apply to the German university, first thing that I need to think about, it's actually timing. So, for example, in my case, I decided in August that I want to move to Germany, and I started my research and thought how I want to move. In the end, I guess from October, I decided that it would be a master program, and I started thinking which semester I should choose. Of course, you can choose, even summer semester, but if you have some kind of base, for example, you already passed an IELTS, you're already prepared and you have money, so in this case, it's still possible. But if, for example, you want to prepare, you need time for collecting money, you need time for preparing your documents, preparing your IELTS exam and passing, I guess 1 year, it's the proper timing and it's definitely enough for applying and for the whole procedure to the German university. Once you decided what would be the timing for you, so for example 1 year, after that it's actually a good idea to check what kind of programs you can find in German universities, because when you are in your country, you know like what kind of offers from unis you have, what kind of specializations you have in your field, but sometimes you can find something different actually, because you never thought about this kind of specialization. So that's why I was in 2 websites. First is DAAD, it's the most popular one. There you can find also a scholarship for uni, but there you can choose, for example, only English and check all the programs that you have only in English, and you can find the different fields, I have to say. So it would be again economics, because I'm studying economics, and also, for example, chemistry, biology, if you want to be a teacher, so engineering, everything. For the data science, be careful, because usually the competition is pretty high, and in this case you should think about applying for more universities. For example, in my case, I was worried a lot, so I applied for 12 universities actually, and I received an admission from 4 unis. After you check DAAD, I also check the master portal. It's also a website where you can find programs, as I told you in the first video, you have 2 lands where already not possible to apply for free. I mean, to study for free, yes? It's the Baden-Württemberg and also Bavaria. So be careful if you don't have an option to pay for education, just choose another lands. And be quick actually, because I'm not sure how many years the other lands would be also free for international students. So you definitely should start preparing right now. One thing that I did also when I was trying to find a uni for me, actually I opened a Google map. Why so? Because the purpose of the master program for me was just to move to another country. And in case if you have the similar thing and you just want to move, and after that think about if you want to continue education or maybe to switch to the working contract to find a job, so definitely check the Google map and check the cities where potentially you want to live. For example, for me it was Düsseldorf, Berlin, Hamburg, München. So I check all the cities and I started searching in this area all the universities and Hochschule. I was opening all these websites from uni and Hochschule and was checking if they have programs in English, because sometimes when you have this aggregator like DAAD, you're checking, of course, but sometimes you can miss something. So for me it was important to search everywhere, so that's why I also use Google Maps. Maybe this kind of hint would be helpful for you also. So when I started searching of course, I decided to make a table. So you can do this in the Excel form, on the Google form, whatever you want. And I prepared this kind of table you can see right now. So it was the name of the program, the name of the uni, the city, also some kind of information that I check on the website. I just copy paste there, and a link, of course, for the uni. So it was my first list, where was actually around 50 unis. In this case, you have a table where you can find all the requirements for all the unis that you potentially can apply. And after that, you're checking, for example, I have this kind of degree and I have this kind of credits. Is this program suitable for me? Do I want to live in this city, for example? Or do I want, for example, to pass a test if it's requirement from the uni? Or do I want to make an interview? So you're thinking about the program that you want to apply. If you are super stubborn and you want specific uni, you want specific program, just apply, for example, this semester, next semester, and again and again. So for me, it was not a purpose, so that's why I just applied for a list of the uni, and in the end, yeah, I received admission and I'm here right now. I chose the biggest city that was on my list, just because it's easier if you're studying in English to find a job for sure. Because you always need to think about the other steps, that would be after. So it's really nice to live in all the cities, I guess, in Germany, but in general, to find a job there, to move again after a master. So it's all additional things in the country where you're actually a foreigner. So be prepared in advance. It's easier to move, for example, to the city where you potentially can live than, for example, changing again after 2 years. Definitely it's my experience, but maybe you are more spontaneous, maybe you're younger and it would be okay for you. It's also okay, yeah? So if you don't have any other options, definitely it's better to go than to not go at all and stay home just because the city is not good enough for me. What I want definitely to mention that, for example, if you study something like economics in your country, it would be not possible to do a master, for example, in biology. So you should think that it can be something similar, but if you want to change your path, you should start from the bachelor degree, and usually the bachelor degree is in German. For example, in my country, it's possible to switch to a completely different program when you're doing your master, but because you're here like an international student, it definitely would be not possible for you. Because, for example, I applied for the data science and economics, and even in this case, they reject me. Just because, I don't have like enough credits for that. And maybe it would be a little bit disappointing that you cannot study something like completely different. But yeah, this is the system. If you are in your country, you can do this usually. But if you are an international student, they require you to choose a same path, because in this case they understand that you are going to the country because of the education, because it's the main actually reason why you're going to be a student there and to study just abroad something that you are interested in. And you will ask me why I cannot apply for all these universities that would be in my first list. For sure you need to make a list like around 5 till 10, 12 universities. From this year, a lot of unis, they switch to the system. You're applying through this website. It calls Uni Assist. And there you're applying your diploma. And after that, they evaluate your diploma and showing your an average score according to the German system. And after that, you can apply directly to the program. Sometimes you need to apply also through the website of the uni. But in general, sometimes uni required only apply to the Uni Assist, and after that you are just waiting the results when it would be the admission period. And all these applications through the Uni Assist, they are actually not free of charge. So that's why, for example, I was asking my friends to put money there, because my cards were not working for European companies, and that's why you should also prepare it, like if it would be affordable for you or not. In my case, I also reject unis where you need to send documents through the mail, because it was pretty pricey for me, and also you need this notarized copy of your documents, so that's why you actually are spending a lot of money. So I decided yeah, definitely don't want to do this. And also, for example, according to the location, also think about that. For example, Kiel is the uni who are pretty open, and usually it's easy to apply there and to study there. But it's really North City. It would be windy as a hell, because when I was in Hamburg like a couple days ago, it was already like colder than in Düsseldorf. And in Düsseldorf, the weather is like in Netherlands, so it's always windy and rainy. And for me, I was surprised that it can be, even worse. So that's why I just think a little bit more, not only about the studies, but also about the lifestyle there, because it's also important for your future life. So let's summarize. First, you need to check all the websites, even Google Maps, to find all the programs that you can find according to your specialization. Make a list with them, put the information according how to apply, what is the procedure, and after that you can choose already more precisely what kind of program you want to choose, and it will be like a shorter list. And after that you can understand the criteria that they need, and it would be easier to make another steps. For example, you understanding that you need to pass, for example, IELTS exam. In some programs they require, for example, GMAT. You also will be preparing for the GMAT if you want, or you decided that it's the best program in the world, I want to apply, but you need to make, for example, something additional, a test or maybe an interview. You also can participate. In my case, I decided just to not make my life super complicated, so that's why I applied only for the programs where you don't need this kind of interviews or tests. So I just apply for the programs where you need to put your documents and some kind of CV, motivation letter, and that's it. But it's definitely the first steps. After them, you can understand like what would be the procedure, how I want to apply. Please think about the timing. You just need to prepare everything in advance, step by step. And after you choosing your unis, you can do for sure that, so it's not that tough. I wish you luck, definitely, for that. I know that it's not easy and you have a lot of questions, and it seems like super tough, because for me, when I thought before that I want to apply for the German university, for me it was like another world. So how I should do this, to pass the language exam, to prepare my documents, to apply. And I was worried about the application, of course, because you are thinking that I can make some mistakes and it will be not working, they will be not taking me. Yeah, but in the end, all okay. If you are following the procedure, everything would be good. And one hint for you, just be sure that in your list of the unis, you have unis without NC. We were talking about that in the first video, but it means that, for example, we don't have a specific amount of the places where you can study. In this case, they are taking all the students who are follow the requirements, so that's why you have more chances to study in the German uni. So be sure that you have at least one of this kind of uni, just in case if you are receive a rejection from the other unis. And what people always asking me, what to choose, university or Hochschule in this case. And of course I can still say that Hochschule would be more practical oriented, so it would be professors who had at least some kind of corporate experience. But again, it depends on your goal. For example, for me, the goal was just to move, so that's why I was choosing all the types of the unis and Hochschule. But if your goal to learn something special according to your field, just think about that. If you don't have lack of time, so you can apply, for example, couple semesters and see if it's possible to receive an admission from specific uni or from specific Hochschule. But in case that you want to do it like next semester or next year, just have a plan B, what you would be choosing if, for example, you didn't receive an admission from this Hochschule or uni. And what I want to tell you according to my experience, for example, so if you didn't receive any news from the uni or Hochschule until September, if your semester will start from October, it means that they will reject you, because usually they are sending this rejection letter in the end. So for example, for some unis, I receive rejection letters only after I was already in Germany and I started my semester, because their target, of course, to send admission letters for the people who would be studying there. And I guess according to their law, the government required from unis that they need to send this rejection letter, but of course they're doing that already, in the last phase when they have time. Don't spend your time, waiting. Your target is just to find a uni that would be okay for you, and agree with that, because if you want to study as soon as possible, you definitely need to choose something. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions, just ask me below. I'm usually answering. And also follow me on Instagram. The link would be in the description. And see you next video. Bye bye.